The message that I have for this reading is that until you find real love in God, you'll keep falling for the devil's imitation. The illusion always comes dressed as everything you ever thought you wanted. It mirrors your wounds, it flatters your ego, and it promises salvation. That's the counterfeit love, the one that burns hot, fast, and leaves you emptier than before. But when you find God, not in a building, not in a book, but in yourself, you begin to recognize what real love feels like. God isn't about religion. It's about remembering who you are when the noise falls away, remembering the divine blueprint you've carried all along. And when you know that kind of love that doesn't demand, deceive, or disappear, you stop settling for the devil's discounts. Find God, find yourself, find real love. What do we have at the foundation of the reading, please? 5 of Cups, Scorpio energy at the foundation of the reading. Okay, I just heard very clearly the glamour spell has broken. Now, I feel that there's a person or people around your energy and life who are trying to use the same old tactics to get back into your energy that they may have used in the past. And what they are starting to realize is that this is no longer working. And I feel that these people may have put you on ice, so to speak. It's an energy where I feel that they thought that they could go and live and experience their life, and if all else fails, they could come back to you. There's some sort of last-ditch effort to regain control over the way you perceive your own life and yourself. Now, there's also an energy where the glamour spell that they placed on you to perceive them in a certain light that could have been working for many years has not only faded, but there's some sort of way that they wanted you to perceive yourself that has also come to an end. You may be at a point in your life where you're starting to feel more comfortable in your skin than you ever have before. And this all has to do with this glamour spell. They keep repeating that. Now, there's many sides to this glamour spell, like I mentioned. It's a way you perceive others, and it's a way you perceive yourself. But if I was to really simplify it, it's just a way of compartmentalizing a timeline that you have now graduated on from, and you are interfacing with your reality in a completely different way, and you're seeing life and all the circumstances that have been surrounding your reality in a way that you never have before. You're starting to see that everybody was wearing a costume, is what I just heard. And now that your spirit has sobered up, the illusion has nowhere to hide. You see them now. You don't see the version that they dressed up just for you. You see everything that was always hiding behind those eyes that was hoping you'd never wake up. I'm hearing that this person wanted to be worshipped, not forgiven, but now you see them for who they are. And you're not seeing them as the one that broke you, okay? You're seeing them as the one who taught you how to never forget. That's heavy. There may have been a time in the past where this person was able to control you through seduction. If it was family members, maybe they used nostalgia. But I'm hearing these people are feeling completely naked as they witness your rise, because they know that in order for you to rise to the heights that you are being lifted to by the divine, you have to be able to see them for who they are and what they did first. It's all a part of it. The acceptance of the truth, as painful as it is the key to your elevation. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Swords, 4 of Pentacles. So an ending and a beginning. And this 4 of Pentacles, I feel like this is you holding yourself back, the version of you that didn't want to accept the truth because of how painful it was. It was more comfortable in those moments to just hold on to the lie. When it comes to this kind of truth, it's just not something you can ever prepare yourself for. It's sort of like when you're a little kid and you have a splinter that's buried real deep and you have to get somebody to pull it out for you, but you're kind of sitting there. You're like, wait, don't do it yet. Wait, hold on. And you have to prepare yourself. You have to brace for it. I just heard bracing for impact, right? It's like that's what this truth brings. It feels like you're being impacted by something because you know that on the other side of that truth, you're not going to be the same person. Think about that. That ideas, words, events can actually alter the trajectory of your life because your perception completely shifts and doesn't allow you to return to that person you once were. Very deep, very profound. But this is where we're at now. And this is why the acceptance of this truth brings with it this monumental rise. What do we have at the sacral, please, Spirit? King of Swords, air energy at the sacral. So this is very clear, and this is following what I just said perfectly, because what we're seeing here is an energy where there's two people. We have the King of Swords here, and we have this baby back here. Now, the baby doesn't have to be literal. To me, it's just representing something that's being birthed into your life, but I feel it's this new version of you. Now, the King of Swords here is working with these two people to cut something that exists between them. And I feel that this is a representation of what it is from your life you are now transmuting. This King of Swords at the sacral is the representation of you accepting the truth. And little do you know, in some cases, just how important this is, because it's this truth that brings forward this entirely new creation, this entirely newfound sense of self. See, what you're going to realize is that when you begin to accept all which you tried as best as you could to shut out until it just created this perpetual ache inside of your spirit, well, it's a sort of domino effect. There's the truth, there's the exposure, and there's the rebirthing, which brings forth the rise. All of these things have to unfold in a meticulous fashion, and this is a rippling, or a folding rather, of timelines. This is also that moment in your life where you choose to accept the mission. See, a chosen one isn't just called. They choose back. They accept a mission. They walk away from comfort, illusion, lies. And you walk away from a reality, an environment, a world who told you who to be. See, as a chosen individual, you are not perfect. You're not praised. You're pressed. You're pressed by the darkness, by trials. You're pressed by forces that are trying to keep you small. But it's amongst all of that that you rise. You choose alignment. You do the real work. It's not performative spirituality. It's not aesthetic rituals. It's deep recalibration. It's a shedding of the ego and facing the shadow. It's a living in truth when it would be easier to live in the lie, right? Exactly what I said. See, to walk with Christ consciousness is to embody divine authority in divine humility. You lead, you don't control. You're here to heal, not hoard. You're here to remember, not react. Chosen one is just somebody who said yes and keeps saying yes, even when it costs you everything. This is where we're at now. There was a time many years ago for a lot of you when you were cast out, you were left behind. People just essentially ruled you out. Something inside of you broke, and something inside of you was also sparked. It was in that moment, during that spark, that you said to yourself, you may have even fantasized about it, a kind of visual manifestation without even realizing it, what it would be like if you could be on top, if you could gain those people's respect that ruled you out. We've all been there. Probably wouldn't be listening to this reading right now if you weren't. I know I've been there before. But there's a part of you inside during those moments as well that thinks it's just fantasy, that I'll never get there, right? We've all felt that too. But let me tell you something, okay? That vision, that feeling, that fantasy, it already exists on another timeline. You just have to figure out how to align with it. And I'm here to tell you that it's actually more possible than you could ever imagine. That person that was in your life, that romantic connection, who didn't see you for who you really were and treated you poorly and left you in the dust. These are the same people who come back when they see this rise. It's in these moments when you pinch yourself because you can't believe it's actually happening. These visions you had, they're coming true. Oh my God, here they come. Years later, you can't believe it. This is when you truly feel like you've arrived at something. You've arrived at yourself. You've become that person that you fantasized about becoming. It's here. There's a lot of people that are going through this right now, and it's mind-blowing when it happens. So for all of you who are experiencing this now, congratulations, you've arrived. But it's only just beginning. And for those of you who are sitting there, dusting yourself off, just know that that vision, that hope, that feeling inside of you is the spark, and it's all very real. So get up and charge forward, because you will make it there much sooner than you could possibly begin to imagine. I promise you, a whole bunch of you will wake up one day and go, man, time just flew by and here I am. Look how I've turned everything around. And it's all because I chose to accept the calling. Then we have the Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Sag energy. There's somebody here who is seeing very clearly that you've gone through some sort of level up, but this is different. This isn't a regular glow up, okay? This is of the spiritual kind, right? The kind that you just can't buy with makeover. This is from within. This is rare, okay? And I feel that this person wants to come through with some sort of an offer. Now, most commonly, I feel that this is going to show up as a family member or an ex, just somebody who isn't in your life anymore, okay? This person could be feeling very left out, like they made a mistake, but it's interesting because they're not necessarily going about things the right way. It's making it very difficult to receive them. There's something deceptive about them. Nine of Wands, it's like you're creating a perimeter here because it's like this big bad wolf energy. You feel them sniffing around, right? It's like they're sniffing around outside your home trying to find a way in. And you don't really know what their ulterior motive is here. It's like, what do you want? It's like this is the kind of person that, let's say years and years ago, they treated you really poorly. Things just happened the way they did. You went your own ways, and you sort of perceive them as maybe somebody who broke your heart, right? Or hurt you in some way. But now you perceive them in a completely different light based on the way they're treating this situation. It's like they've turned into this creep. I mean, it's like a stalker kind of energy is what I'm getting here. Yeah, I'm hearing that this is the kind of person that will sit outside your house in their car, smoke cigarettes, and just kind of, sit there, engine running. When maybe you live in an area where you've never told anybody your new address, but all of a sudden there they are, right? This is just an example of what I'm getting here. It's weird. It's creepy. They're not being upfront and very forthcoming. They're going about things in this way that is obviously telling us that they're having some sort of narcissistic injury. This is what narcissists do, right? They don't come forward and say, you know what, I made a mistake. I don't know what I was thinking back there. I would love it if we could have a conversation, but, I understand if you don't want to. That's not what they're doing at all. This is one of these, I'll climb up in their tree and I'll smoke some cigarettes and I'll just see if I can get a little peek into what they're doing. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Eight of Swords. See, they're just making it worse on themselves here. Okay, I just heard, this is the kind of person who, I'm hearing a lot here. There's something going on psychologically with them. On the surface, they try to paint themselves as happy-go-lucky, that everything is all put together in their life. But deep down inside, this person's really wounded. It's actually kind of sad. But it becomes less and less sad when this person becomes an adult, right? Because it's your responsibility to heal yourself from these things the older you become. Because if you don't, then you're just projecting all this into other people's lives, which is what this person is doing. Now, I'm also seeing, metaphorically, it's like this person drags around trash bags of baggage, so to speak, right? And they just look for hosts that will let them dump all their baggage and garbage out all over their lives, right? There's nothing healed about this person. Nothing about them has changed. The only thing that has changed with this person in this situation is time. I feel that this person has been running the same worn-out cycle for years, but there's something different about their interaction with you. Out of all of the people that have hosted them, and I say that from more of a parasitical perspective, you're different. You actually took what they did to you and transformed yourself. Yeah, I'm hearing that you're not to forget what they did to you, right? Not when you're finally waking up, not when the spells are finally wearing off. I just heard knock yourself out of the trance. That could be for those of you that are entertaining, reconnecting with this person, even in the slightest. You need to remember. Because the thing is, this isn't love that's returning to you, okay? This is your past trying to hijack your peace. And this is a perfect example of how the devil exists in your life. The devil is working through this person, these people, whoever this represents for you. They're going to use gaslighting, distraction, damage control, spell casting through confusion. No, that's not how it was. Don't overreact. That's not it. I was just joking around. All of this sort of stuff. But this person cannot bring any value into your life. Not like this. They trapped themselves inside this energy, inside this cycle, inside this space. And now here we are. They perceive you as one of the only people, if not the only person that can truly get them out of this web that they have entangled themselves in. The web they've been using year after year to entangle others and drain them of their life force is now the web that they have caught themselves up in. And this is a perfect example of what I said earlier on in the reading about this being a multi-step process, right? The acceptance of the truth, which creates the exposure, right? Which allows for your rise. This is all of that playing out in real time. This is one of these moments when Saturn, I feel this is aligning astrologically for a lot of you as well. Saturn's testing you to see if you've actually grown, if you're truly ready to step forward into this new timeline and really go and take what's yours. The universe always tests us to make sure that we're able to graduate on to the next level in the game. That's where you are at now. So ask yourself, is this person and everything that they bring into your life worth sacrificing everything that could be? For what, right? So you're not alone. The things people will sacrifice just to have a companion there, it doesn't make any sense. A companion, somebody who brings misery and pain into their life. This is not how it's supposed to be. And like I mentioned in my opening message, that's not real love. Find God, find yourself, find real love. That's what it's truly about. What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Wow. Unbelievable. I just got chills. Okay, so there's the path, right? Here's the divine. Think of this as Saturn. Saturn's like, okay, all right, here we are. We've arrived, all right? Now, we're going to hold on to this coin for you. This represents your blessings, everything that you are about to go toward. However, we got to test you first, right? We have to strength test you. This is the path. It's like you've reached the end of the level. Do you want to come down here and hit the pinnacles of success? See those peaks back there? And to access these divine blessings? Or do you want to go back to this? Because the thing is, going back to this, just because you've evolved, just because you have grown spiritually, does not mean that all of a sudden you're going to be able to fix this person. This isn't how this works. The reality of that situation is you're putting yourself in a situation where it's more likely that you will unravel all of this growth, this evolution that you've had. It will come apart at the seams. It's like you have your first disagreement with this person that feels a whole lot like the past, and there you are. It's almost like you blinked and you're now existing on a lower vibrational timeline in the past. And everything that has taken place, this evolution and everything, was just a memory of something that now exists on another timeline. But in that moment, your conscious awareness has shifted. See, I quite often speak about timelines, right? And our conscious awareness calibrating to different possibilities and outcomes. And what I'm seeing here is where you're at in your life, you're existing on this new timeline that is above this timeline that you graduated on from. Your evolution has allowed you to raise your vibration and align with a version of yourself, consciously speaking, that is more empowered. But going back to these old energies can pull you back down into this vibrational trench, so to speak. You cannot pull them up to where you are. This is not how this works. This is something I always mention. People like to argue this one too, but they only do it because they're trying to make up excuses for their bad decision making. Listen, anybody who has truly done the work, right, understands that each person has to do the work on their own to raise up to that frequency, to that vibration, to that timeline. No one can just lift you up there. Think about everything you've had to do in your life to get to the point where you are now. It's taken years for a lot of you. Now, think about what that person has to do, because something tells me this person has way more work than you have to do or had to do. So just remember that. Two of Pentacles, Two of Swords. Wow. Yeah, there's this energy here. Okay, this is where a lot of you are. It's like the future, the past. There's a convergence here. You've gotten to this point now where everything is culminating, right? The past, future, and present are all coming into, well, yeah, culmination. And you're seeing something here whilst being in this in-between. You're seeing that in order to move forward, you must prioritize yourself, your growth, the real love that you hold with spirit and the divine source, the acceptance, the truth that anybody from a previous lower vibrational timeline is essentially an agent, whether they know this or not. They're being sent back into your life to stop you from elevating any further. But you need to make a head over heart decision, right? Turn your back. See how she has her back turned to the water, which is representing emotion, right? Swords represent the mind, the thoughts. Think with your mind. Don't make emotionally based decisions. And in some cases, this could be difficult for a lot of you because all of a sudden, here comes this person that maybe you wanted to come back into your life for a very long time, but they're not who they were, okay? Which I don't think was really all that great anyway. They just knew what you liked and they knew how to play the game. This person's been through it. They've lived a lot of life. Let me just tell you that, okay? And now they want to come back to you after they've probably been rejected by everyone and everything that they've come into contact with since you because it's all a part of their karma. So now they want to circle back to the one thing that showed them real love, real compassion, and was probably more honest with them about anybody they've ever encountered. You probably could see the little sparkle of light that was in this person. You probably tried to amplify that. And what do? They just stomped all over it. But don't you dare sacrifice everything you've built to go back to that. Because the difference here is that you have this new kind of awareness. And if you go back to that, you're going to realize that you have just made the worst decision of your life because you have just accepted your one-way ticket to hell. And you are going to have to crawl out of there if you want to turn it all around again. And most people can't do it. It's too hard. So we're at this point on the path where the universe is truly asking you, hey, you've reached this level that not many people reach, okay? And it's this level when all those energies come back, we send them back in because we need to be able to distribute karma accordingly, good and bad, for all those involved. So you got to stay strong. So now more than ever, you got to lock it down. You got to hold the line. You got to load up and be prepared for what's coming. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Knight of Wands, here they come. Wait. Remember the good old days? Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. Literally couldn't have had a better card come out after everything I just said, because that's the energy. Very reckless, very in-out, not somebody you can trust. Okay? Incredibly disloyal. And it's right there at the throat position. Okay? So I feel that this person's going to come through. They may even try to communicate with you. On one hand, you have Saturn. Right there, look at that Wheel of Fortune. 9 of Cups. King of Pentacles. So 9 of Cups, King of Pentacles. This is you by yourself. Okay, abundance, abundance. Both of these cards. Look, there's Hand of God, right? This is what you have waiting for you. Wheel of Fortune, right? This is the timelines shifting. This is your destiny. All of this right here. And look what's underneath it. 5 of Pentacles. This person feeling left out of all of this. See, here's the thing. They think they're coming back because they can share in this with you or build something with you. You know, add what they have to what you have, and then you can be one big happy family, but that's not how this works. You try to add this person back into the equation, all of this will be like sand through your fingers. So you choose. You know, this person, they know how to put it on, right? They probably look good. They probably sound good. Everything probably looks in its right place on the surface, but there's something that lurks beneath. Something as a cruelty I'm getting from this person. There's something, I just heard void. Wow, I just heard this person's like a black hole. Once you fall in, it's practically impossible to get out. The centripetal force that they bring into your life is too strong. It's like you are the last lifeline that they have out of that web that they've caught themselves up in. But this is all because of your connection with the divine. I just heard they want a peace. They want to enjoy the fruits of all your labor without having to put any of the work in. They think that they can skip step 1 through 10 by getting a free ride from you. Knight of Swords. So it's like, there you are. You're like, I don't think so. Let me just put this sword through you. Yeah. So I think it's still the full moon. This could all be taking place right now. It's like there's something so creepy about this person. It's like, here they come, right? Today's Friday the 13th as well. I mean, there you go. It's like they just, you know, come out from under the moonlight. Just all witchy looking, right? Male or female. Could be a kind of like a warlock vibe. But it's like they think they're all mysterious and all godly, right? Like some goddess, but you see it as just kind of creepy and I don't know. 8 of Swords. Yeah, look at that. Ace of Pentacles again from this deck. 8 of Swords. 3 of Swords. Look at that bandaged up heart. Okay. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Justice. Libra energy at the third eye. It's like they're trying to come back through under the guise of wanting to bring balance. And they're probably going to be really convincing, okay? Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting this message coming through in the capacity that we are. It's like, look at that Ace of Pentacles right smack dab in the center of the reading at the heart chakra. And then all this energy that's around it. I just heard again, don't forget. Don't forget. The glamour spell that this person is able to weave is really strong. This person could have put you through literal hell. Just a living kind of hell. But then they come through and you're like, look how pretty they are. Look how handsome they are. And then you have to shake yourself out of it. Like, what am I even thinking? I also feel for a lot of you, this person cheated on you with somebody who probably did the same thing to them that they did to you. Wait. I learned my lesson. I've grown so much, you know. Just give me another chance. We're meant to be together. You're my real twin flame. What do we have at the crown, please? Hierophant. at the crown. Okay, so the divine source, God, showing up. And look, there it is, right? The last page of this chapter. The divine's like, here it is. Everything you fantasized about back in the day. When you thought about how amazing it would be if you could be on top and you could show these people who you really are. Well, here we are right now. It's happening right now, today, tomorrow, this weekend. So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to flip the page? Or are you going to go back and live the story all over again and get yourself trapped inside a karmic cycle? A loop. Like an old, worn out movie reel just repeating over and over again. It's at a haunted movie theater. Or you're going to take the key, right? Oh, look who we have right there on the bottom of the deck. Look who decided to show up to the party, huh? God and the devil. And look, here they come. Oh, please. Please, you're the best I ever had. Seven of Swords, right? They think they can fool you. They think this is going to work. You know, you'd be doing this person a huge favor simply by rejecting them, right? It's like it shatters their inflated ego, which is the best thing that could happen to them at this point in their life. It's done nothing for them. All it's done is just keep them stuck inside an endless loop of toxicity, hurting people, repeating the same pattern year after year. And again, the only thing changing is time. And if you think that this person is going to all of a sudden treat you the way you wanted them to always treat you, you got another thing coming, okay? And merely by their approach, their reemergence into your life should be a clear indication of just how little they have grown and healed since you last made contact with them. So here we are, right? You're at this crossroads, so to speak. The divine standing here like, okay. And then here they come, right? And I just heard, karma doesn't skip people. It just waits. Okay, I'm hearing you need to listen to your guidance at this time. It goes without saying, but I just heard that. Divine interception is guiding you to see something. Okay. So when your intuition is telling you something right now, okay? It should always be like this, but really pay attention to this right now. Let's say your intuition says, go out into your backyard and walk around in 3 circles and walk back in your house. Just an example. Do it, okay? Or if your intuition says to go and sit on your couch and read this book, whatever it is, just do it. There's certain things that are unfolding in and around your life that require you to listen to your higher guidance in a meticulous fashion. Now, I can't expand on that anymore regarding what that could be for all of you because there's just too many possibilities. But just pay attention and listen. Don't hesitate. What do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? King of Cups. Water energy at the foundation. Okay, so I'm getting something here surrounding this person. It's like they show up like this, like, oh, I'm sorry, right? But then when you say no or whatever and you walk away, right? Then all of a sudden, this King of Cups in its shadow comes out. Okay, this is like King of Cups in reverse. This is a very emotionally abusive very volatile, nasty individual, okay? It's all about emotional manipulation. So let's say you tell this person, you know what, I'm not interested, okay? I've moved on with my life, yada, yada, yada. This person would come through and say, oh, I didn't want you anyway. You're this, that, and the other. They do something to show you in that moment that nothing has changed at all with them. And it's also in that moment that you realized you just dodged another bullet. What do we have at the sacral, please, Spirit? Wow. Five of Pentacles. Unbelievable. Look at that energy at the sacral. So Five of Pentacles, this is an energy of spiritual poverty. And I feel that this person is in a kind of spiritual poverty. It's also an energy of feeling left out of your life that you have built without them. You know, it's pretty insulting that this person even thinks that they have a place in your life anymore, whoever this is, right? Now I'm picking up on family members. So this could be just opportunist family members who are seeing you do really well, and they think that they can gain something by reconnecting with you. Take it as it fits. You know, it could have been that you were down when this person was last in your life, and you had to pick yourself up out of the dirt, remember? But now maybe they're down, and you're up, and now here they come. Oh, hey. No, it wasn't like that. I was just joking. I was just playing a joke, right? That's the gaslighting. That's the spell casting through confusion. Don't fall for this nonsense. I feel a lot of you are empathetic people, but one of the hardest lessons you have to learn as an empath is when to say no. Just because you're an empath doesn't mean that you are to allow just any old person into your energy. In fact, it's quite the opposite. As an empath, you should be somebody who holds great discernment and creates boundaries and only allows those into your energy that can reciprocate what you are giving them. It needs to be a two-way street or nothing. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Two of Swords. They're trying to get you to make a heart over head decision, right? We saw the Two of Swords underneath one of these other decks, and I said a head over heart decision, right? This is the opposite of that. This is an energy that tries to act like they have your best interest in mind, right? Like they're sticking their neck out for you. Only shaking your hand with 3 digits, right? I mean, who can trust that? I mean, unless you only have 3 to work with, then, you know, everything's circumstantial. But there's an energy here where they're trying to, I just heard cross your wires, right? So confuse you. I just heard mix up the narrative. There's also an energy here where they want you to think that you've made some sort of wrong conclusion about them, that it's not really the way you think it is. Okay, somewhere around there. But see, it's that approach that is actually keeping this person stuck, right? When the best way to approach this is not from the angle of trying to get something. It needs to be raw honesty and just a heartfelt apology. That's it. But instead, this person is using these layered manipulation tactics to get themselves back into your life, not respecting you in any way, shape, or form and the growth that you have undergone to get to this very moment in your life. And, you know, there's something much bigger at play here as well. And this is something that I was picking up leading up to this reading. But there are certain people on this planet, chosen individuals, light workers, so to speak. And I call these people timeline shifters, okay? Now, what these individuals are responsible for doing is actually shifting timelines based on the decisions they are making in their life. It's like your frequency is a kind of weapon, and their thoughts are the kind of steering wheel of reality. Now, this is a very deep layered concept that I've been thinking about, but it's not difficult to see that we live in a world right now that is bombarding us with unbelievable amounts of fear. Everywhere we turn, we're just being annihilated with fear. And when you're consuming all of this fear content, it shifts your frequency. So you are now aligning with a different timeline that is on the lower side of the vibrational scale. So we're really being called right now to not only be mindful of what we are allowing to go into our minds, but also being mindful of the events that are emerging in and around our lives, because it's a lot of these things that can literally shift timelines for the entire collective. A decision you make could be the deciding factor whether or not the entire collective shifts into a new timeline. Now, that sounds wild, right? But when you think about how each one of us has an incremental effect, this is really the key. You could be, let's say, for the sake of example, the one vote, right, that shifts an election. That's the best way I can put this. It could be that one decision that you make that has the power to shift where we are moving as a global collective. So you need to stay as pure as possible in thought and also stay anchored in love, right? That real love. Stay out of the illusions and any sort of systems that are trying to break you. They're actually trying to bend the timelines. You're here to help stop that. All of you are a kind of correction. You are the override of the code. And the way you override that code is all within the decisions you are making in the here and now. What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Again, look at that. Knight of Wands, Justice. Knight of Wands, Justice. Unbelievable. So, Knight of Wands right here at the heart. It says right there, scandal. I don't care how this person comes in. There's something much bigger connected to all of this, okay? And I feel that I was led to give you that example about the timeline shifters so you can understand how the decisions you make affect the global collective. So it would make sense that the devil would send these energies into your life, because the devil knows that if he can get you and a few other people to make decisions that are directed toward his will for your life, then the power shifts in his favor for the ultimate outcome of the collective. Wow. And then we have justice again, okay? And justice is blind. You need to look at this situation, these things you're going through with this ex, with these family members, with these friends, however this shows up for you. Remove their identity and look at things from an energetic perspective. It's very important. Okay, look, there's the scales right there. You just don't know how much of an impact the decisions you make in your life could possibly have on the rest of us. It's so important. There's no way to measure this. There's no way of proving this, but I believe that this is very real. This is just how reality works in this third density. It's dualistic, and we need to start measuring these situations, these events, these things that take place in our life in a way that allows you to look at these things as being for your greatest good or not. Look at everything like this, especially during this transitionary time. It's like we're crossing the bridge into the new timeline, and you need to be on high alert. What do we have at the throat? Eight of Cups. Yeah, here it is, right? So here they come. Wait, but I love you. Remember what we had? Remember how good that was? Come on. And then Eight of Cups, right? They give you this cup and there's nothing in it. Just some dust, just some sand. It's like this person, I feel, is just drifting aimlessly right now, and they've just got their sights set on you. But you need to turn your back and just take this as a blessing from the divine, as a form of closure. right? A closure of the cycle rather than the emotional kind. And also pretty good sense of validation. You know, I feel that you've grown so much now that you probably don't even see the appeal to this person, these people. You just don't see how they could fit into your new life. It should be like that. Unless people are self-improving and doing their best for themselves in their own life, what place do they have in your reality anymore? Remember, your whole environment, the way you show up, is you programming your reality to begin with. So you need to be very careful of the people you allow into that energetic space, because whether you know it or not, you're communicating something to the universe by who you allow in. If you're allowing people into your environment that are not where you are, you're telling the universe that you're okay with that. And so the universe is going to start giving you an experience that is a direct reflection of that. Slowly over time, your life just starts to go back to how it was. And you're like, what the hell's happening here? And by that point, it's too late. And then right on the bottom of the deck, the Hierophant again, okay? So God, your spirit guides, the divine, right? They're looking. They got your back. Says right there, secures promises. So, you know, for a lot of you, one of the tests I'm hearing that are connected to this individual, if it's of the romantic kind, it's like you saying no to this person or you just closing the door on the situation for good is going to allow your real person to come through. Because now you're at a point where you finally deserve them. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Too many cards. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? There we go. Wheel of Fortune. Look at that. Healing. Heals all disorders. So, and it says right there, God has healed. So it goes back to what I said in the message at the beginning of the reading about finding God within yourself. And this is what allows the timelines to shift. Wheel of Fortune energy. This is the turning point. This is your destiny. And this is all your good karma that has been accumulating during this period of your spiritual evolution, now being returned to you in the form of blessings. Ace of Pentacles and Wheel of Fortune speak about tremendous fortune, success, divine blessings, spiritual kind, material kind. It's all here, but it's all connected to this situation. All right, what do we have at the crown to close out the reading, please, Spirit? King of Cups. King of Cups, King of Cups. This is different, though. It's King of Cups. This is you. You're showing up in this stoic kind of energy. It's like they can't get a reaction out of you. And look, that's them, right? Highlighted in red. Oh, please, please. I didn't mean to. I didn't know what I was doing. Restitution. Finds stolen objects and discovers the person responsible. God seeing everything. So I feel that this is just speaking metaphorically about all of those things you fantasized about, right? Being on top and being able to show people who you really were, right? Now here you are. You're able to do that. The same people who once left you in the dust now begging you. I mean, look, some of these people may even literally get down on their hands and knees and beg. That's what comes with the territory of doing this amount of work on yourself. These people start to see no other way. You're the only way. Which isn't true. They can find the way out by going inward and doing the work themselves. But this is just how it's showing up here. And remember, it's not your job to save anybody. You save yourself. That's how you save the world. You become an example. You embody respect for yourself, a love for yourself. That is the single most attractive thing in the world, when you can love yourself. And when you figure that out, everything comes with ease. Because like I said, Find God, find yourself, find real love. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Information for personal readings can be found down below. I would also like to thank everybody who's been visiting my online store. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. You can also find the links down below. And for those of you that are interested in bonus content, you can join my member section where I upload additional readings every month. And lastly, if this reading resonated with you, drop me a heart and or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.